back to Freedom Circle Podcast. I'm Marcia.
I'm Chauntress.
And I'm Charday. I'm here making a way.
Fourth quarter God. Today we'll be talking about fourth quarter God. If you haven't watched our last episode, preparing for the fourth quarter, please make sure that you take time to listen to that next. What does it mean by, what do we mean by fourth quarter God?
So for me, I think that in the fourth quarter, right, I think of the game of basketball, right? Used to play, don't play now, but we get it. But we think about how we played this game, we're hot, we're sweaty, we probably got some cramps or aches and pains that along the way because it's like, okay, game's almost over, but I'm tired, but I can't quit, I can't stop. And that's how I think about with God. Like, we're going through the storms, we're going through the ups and downs, the ebbs and flows of life, right? But we can't stop because it's like, okay, the game's almost over. Like, we're almost to the finish line, so don't stop yet. That's what I think of when I hear fourth quarter God.
Yeah, and mine is very similar. I remember years ago when I was reminded of the power of God. And I thought about like sports, like your team is losing and it's the fourth quarter and you have given up, like, man, there's no way they're about to come back.
Right.
And then sometimes we turn the TV off, sometimes we just sit there and we just be mad, be on our phone, be, talking.
Right.
And then we look and we like, wait a second.
They coming back?
Like, they coming back. And that's how I think about God. It's like when everyone else has walked away, when everyone else has turned off the TV, stopped believing, and they don't have any hope, then God comes in with the alley-oop, God comes in with the free throw, God comes in with the fumble interception.
Yes.
And it's like, we actually won. Because that's the God we serve. See, I truly believe that God does things so people can see, humanly speaking, that wasn't possible.
Right.
Right. But God, all things are possible. It's everything is for Him to get the glory because He don't want people to be like, I did that, right?
Right.
He want people to say, I couldn't have did that without Him.
Yes.
How about you, Charday?
I feel with the fourth quarter God, with our fourth quarter God, with my fourth quarter God, that I feel like I'm at the threshold, like you guys are saying similar as well. Like, it's the last seconds, it's the last moments. It's don't block that blessing, Charday. Don't do anything out of character. Remember God first before you do anything. Like, remember God's promises. Remember that respect I have for my God, So it's just like, so therefore, keep pushing harder. Don't give up, like you guys said as well. Like, keep going. If anything, this is like, that pressure is here. That buzz is about to, it's about to go off right now. So, and the fact that we serve a sudden God, a God of suddenly, He can suddenly make it happen for me. He can say, like, I could be like, oh, my blessing is right around the corner if I make that one little next step. Literally, it's that next step where your blessing is. That's fourth quarter God, like that one move, that one time, that last time I write that last chapter, or that one moment I wake up and start reading that book, or I start studying. It's just like that one, all you have to do is one more thing. All you have to do is show your faith one more time, or show your faith a little bit harder, or meet me a little bit more closer. Like he's already there. We got to meet Him there. We got to come in agreement with Him. Like wake up one more day and choose me again. It's just like we never know. Like you said, it's that last few seconds. So my fourth quarter God is at the threshold. Like He has that cheese stick, right in front of me, dangling. Like, let me go grab it. Right.
That's good. And so for the audience, now that you guys understand what fourth quarter God means, like you said in the beginning, He was like, when it's the fourth quarter, like you're tired, like you're over it, you're done, you're drained. So what do you normally do during those times so you don't give up? Because it's like you can touch like the finish line. But and we have to also realize just when you're about to quit, that's right where you're about to receive your breakthrough,
Yes.
right? And so we want you to be able to continue to press towards the mark. And so during those seasons of your life, when you felt like giving up and you chose not to give up and you saw the glory, you saw the miracle, you saw the victory, what are some things that helped you continue to go?
I like to say, when it's the hardest to pray, that's when you pray. That's when it counts the most. So that's me, and that's how I feel, and that's something that I do personally, and I've seen it happen. Like literally, like issues with children, raising my kids, and my marriage is just like, dang. I couldn't see it then, but the fact that I kept pushing through even when I didn't want to, and I kept going even when I didn't see it, even when I didn't feel it, the times I cried, the times I'm frustrated, the times I'm yelling, it's just like, once I get it, I'm like, oh, it wasn't that bad.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's like you literally feel relieved, like give God your burdens, like literally cry to him, even when you're scared, sad, angry, mad, frustrated, like keep praying, keep praising, keep thanking him, stay focused. Stay focused on the thing at hand, and don't focus on the distractions. That's what I do. I literally just try to reground myself.
So I think of, right, still with being within the game of basketball. So you take a timeout, right? You go to the coach, he's drawing up plays. He's like, hey, you need to move here. You need to do this, right? So there's a strategy, there's a plan that's in place for how you're going to still continue to win the game. And that's how we have to look at life. We have to stop, pause, right? Take a quick time out to reevaluate, okay, how do I move forward now? So whether that's journaling, like your plan of action, what you're going to write down, how am I going to do that, those steps, whether it be a Post-it note or something like that. But it's something that you see and that is tangible, that you're like, okay, this is my next steps. This is my plan. And still, praying through that too also is the same thing, because, take the water break, right? Take a minute to kind of just regroup and get yourself together so that you can finish out. So you can pray, you can praise, you can worship, dance it out, whatever that it is, and talk to that trusted person, saying, okay, look, like, I'm really tired, how do you suggest, or how can I kind of like get over the hump? Or if you've seen them go through like a situation, whether it be like finances or, relationships, whatever it may look like for them, but it's like, okay, well, how did you get through it? Because sometimes it's helpful, just to see, okay, well, how did they do it? Not saying that you're going to do it how they did it, but it's just like, okay, I can see how you did that. I see how you got to that answer. So maybe I can do something like it, but you make it your own, because it's between you and God. It's you and him. It's not, you're not trying to be like anyone else. It's your personal relationship of how you're going to get through the rest of what you need to get through.
Those are all good. And since we are just like staying in alignment with talking about the sports, a couple of things that come to my mind, like you said, time out. So that means we need to rest, right? And I think about sports where sometimes the coach, you have to substitute.
Yes.
You have to lean on your team, because it's not just you.
Right.
You have a whole team. And when we're talking about sports, we don't just show up to the game. We have to train. We have to practice. We have to educate ourselves. We have to watch films. We have to watch, oh God, I thank you.
Yes.
We have to watch our competitors,
yes.
which means that we have to learn everything about our competitors. And in this situation, your competitors is the enemy.
Yes.
You have to learn everything. I already know which way he's going to hit me. I already know what he's going to throw at me. I already know which way he's going to turn. I already know where he's going to throw that ball next. Right? And it's all about the preparation and the training. With all sports.
Yes.
Football, what are you doing in the weight room?
Right.
It's all about boxing. Everything is all about training. You have to have the strength, you have to have the endurance.
Yes.
And every team has a coach. And our coach is God.
Right.
Every team has a coach, and our coach is God. Right? Even all teams have coaches. So I would say making sure, along with what my sisters have already said, is doing your training, doing your preparation, whatever that looks like for you, reading your Bible, going to church, praying, worship, journaling, doing devotionals, checking in with yourself. Sometimes there's some things that you need to dig deep to pull out in order to continue to move forward, because you're heavy. Is there some things that you have to let go of? There's some things that you have to leave behind. And as you're going through each quarter, you have to evaluate, this is what happened in the first quarter. I don't need to take this to the second quarter, right? This is not going to benefit me or anyone around me, right? And then check in with your teammates.
Yeah. And still, I'm gonna stay with the sports. I don't know why I'm still on this, but I'm gonna stay with it. And I think about our last episode of kind of like things to not do, right? And just stop.
Mm-hmm.
So with that, like, yes, it's a team sport, but you know that you can't eat this heavy meal before you go play, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna get a cramp. It's gonna slow you down,
Mm-hmm.
right? You can't rely on just that other person to pass you the ball or whatever. Like, you're still doing your part. You're still doing your part because you have to move as a unit, right? But we're not dragging people. You can't have your teammate on your back and still think that you're gonna make the basket, right? So yeah, that's what I think of.
One thing also that I think of it as you was talking about like the meal, and we're talking about like rest. And this is for the men and female, right? Because when we talk about self-care, man, y'all gotta take care of yourself too.
Please.
Like self-care, making sure you're drinking enough water, making sure you're taking care of your temple, making sure that you're taking time for yourself, whatever that looks like for you. You know, going to the spa, going out with your boys, you know, going to watch sports. A lot of men go and they go do an open gym basketball, sweat it off, talk trash with their boys,
Right.
and, you know, do things like that. Like it's so important for us to take care of ourselves, not just once a week, not just once a month, not just on our birthdays, but every day. We have to take time to take care of ourselves in order for us to fully show up and to be able to have the endurance and the strength for all quarters.
Yes.
Right? Think about baseball.
Right.
Baseball is a long game, right?
Stay
You
with it.
have to be able to take care of yourself. You have to check in with you, right? And a lot of times, by the time you get to the fourth quarter, you don't have any strength. And I realized with myself, it's a lot of times because it's like, well, Marcia, you're not using your teammates. You're not using your coach. You're trying to do everything on your own.
Right.
You're pouring from an empty cup. When we pour, we're supposed to pour from the overflow.
And that's good. You do have to pour from the overflow. And it's like, I know sometimes, you know, like, go to the spa, go get a massage. But sometimes that stuff is not realistic because, you know, financially, if you're not in a place to do that, you're like, well, dang, I can't do that. So it's okay. Do it at home. You can create your own spot. You know what I mean? You can soak in the bathtub. You can light your candles while you're in the tub or in the shower. Have something that smells good, because like when we create that environment for ourselves, we feel good. Like, you know, think about when we go get our nails done or you do your hair. It's like, oh, I look good today. For the fellas, y'all go get y'all line up. You know what I mean? You're like, you know what? I look good. But you have to pour into yourself. You know what I mean? Like, you don't need the external validation, but just within yourself. Be like, I look good today. Like, okay. Like, yes, that we have to do that for ourselves on a continuous basis. Because even when we get like in the pit, when we're like, okay, I'm tired, like I don't feel like doing anything. Maybe you're feeling depressed and you just want to stay home and eat. You know what I mean? Like, but even with that, make it fun for yourself. Put on some music, make your favorite meal, whatever, and make it pretty. Like, you know what? I created that. That look good. I'm about to eat that. Or maybe like girl, let me show you what I just cooked. You want to come over? You know what I mean? So it's things like that to fill our cup and really just refuel and get back in it.
But also be your biggest cheerleader. You know, speak life over yourself. I can do it. I will do it. God says I'm the head, not the tail. He says I'm a leader, not a follower. He says I'm an overcomer. He says that, like, literally, like, we are his children. So, you know, like, he has a hope and a future for us. So therefore, during this fourth quarter, God, remind yourself of who God says you are. Remind yourself who you are. Remind yourself that you have to be a better version from first, second, third, up to fourth quarter. That's your biggest competition is yourself. So it's like, you want to be the better version of yourself. So during this fourth quarter, God, speak life over yourself. Do not speak death over yourself. Remember the power of the tongue is life or death. So therefore, I will do this. Say I am this. Like, for us, we are podcasters. We are motivational speakers. We are authors. We are entrepreneurs. So it's just like, we speak life over ourselves and we believe it. And as we believe it, we're doing it. So therefore, we're going to get the victory and God will get the glory because that's what he promises us. He's already ahead of us. He's already there. It's already done in his eyes. He's just waiting for us to catch up to him.
Right.
He's just waiting patiently. But also remember to rest in him. Don't have any fear. Seek him.
Yeah, and I know I'm just sitting here thinking about last episode we talked about preparing for the fourth quarter, and as we are approaching the fourth quarter, and as we talk often about like our goals and the things that we're working on, it's like it doesn't matter how your first, your second, and third quarter went, because now you have a new opportunity. You made it to the fourth quarter, and maybe the things that you wanted to accomplish, it seems like it's impossible, but there's still time. Like, it's so many things that we have already accomplished going into the fourth quarter that we thought we wasn't going to be able to accomplish it this year because it didn't happen yet. But when we took the time to remove the distractions, to really go in and be mindful and intentional about our times, and also encouraging each other. I remember one day this week, I saw something and I wanted to respond to it, and I was like, you know what? I ain't respond. I went into the lab. I did
Creating.
something.
Yes.
I started creating stuff.
I
started creating stuff, and I'm telling Chauntress the other day, I was just like, that ain't my business.
Right.
Like, I ain't worried about that, because like I tend to be like an overthinker or trying to analyze stuff. I'm like, how's that gonna help me?
Right.
People want to be how they want to be. That's just how they gonna want to be. You know, I can't control people. I control myself. So I'm gonna take my energy and I'm gonna use it to produce, right? To bring God the glory. So wherever you are, wherever you feel you haven't reached yet, we're here to remind you that there is still time.
Right.
And like we say, like, maybe your goal is to do something for an hour. Well, maybe you didn't get to do it for an hour, even if you did it for 5 minutes. Like, don't just stop. Continue to do it. Like, maybe you're not going to reach the hour working out, writing, reading, whatever, working on your business, whatever it is. Just continue to do what you can.
It adds up.
Celebrate the small things.
Yes, please do. Like, celebrate yourself. No one else isn't going to do it for you.
Right.
I promise you. You got to celebrate yourself. Be proud of yourself. Give yourself a pat on the back. Literally. Don't worry about nobody else.
Right. And give yourself grace.
That part.
Give yourself grace, because, like you said, if it wasn't the hour that you wanted, it was still 5 minutes. You still did something to be productive toward that goal, that next step. It's okay.
Feel confident.
It's okay.
Like, literally, God crowns us with confidence.
Right.
And as we are stepping into the fourth quarter, literally, we're in the fourth quarter.
Yes.
Yeah, we're in the fourth quarter. We just want to let y'all know what we have coming up.
Hey.
So we have some merch that we'll be releasing soon.
Yes, Lord.
We're so excited. We have a book that we're going to be releasing soon, which is all about the topics that we talked about in our first season. And then also after the first season book release, we have a girls' journals for my little ladies.
Yes.
We are creating a journal for our girls.
Yes.
So just stay tuned, because it's coming.
And big things, new things.
Yeah, so if you're trying to get Christmas gifts for people, don't buy nothing yet. Check us out first.
Right.
And until next time, I'm Marcia.
I'm Chauntress.
I'm Charday. I'm here making a way.